Hey guys, welcome back to a new vlog. Today on the menu is creamy mushroom pasta. I'm just going to be preparing the creamy mushroom pasta sauce from scratch today. I've started off with the oil in this pan and some water boiling there for the pasta. And now you can start with onions as a base, but I don't have any onions today, which is annoying, so I will skip the onions. It tastes fine without the onions, but obviously it gives a better base with the onions, but as I don't have any, I won't be putting any inside the dish. So I will start straight away with the mushrooms. I'm going to cut two types of mushrooms, button mushrooms and chestnut mushrooms. You can put any mushrooms, but I will put these two types of mushrooms. And I'm going to start with cutting them into sort of smallish pieces, and then I'll tell you the next step. Okay, I've put both of the mushrooms into this pan, into the oil. I'm just sauteing them for now till they're slightly soft and get a bit browner in colour. About 10 to 15 minutes. I've still left the water on boil, very low heat. In the mushrooms, I've put 1 teaspoon of salt, and for the water boiling, I put about a tablespoon and a half of salt for this water to boil as well. This is for the pasta, but once it starts fully boiling, I will put the pasta in. But I'm going to try and leave that until the sauce is pretty much done. I've also added 2 cubes of garlic and ginger. These are frozen cubes. You can put slightly less, slightly more. As there's no onions, I put double what I usually do just to give it a bit more flavour. For now, I'm going to let this cook for another 10 minutes or so until the water has sort of evaporated, and then I'll show you the next steps. Okay guys, now I've added peas, frozen peas. You can miss that, or you can add them like I'm doing in this recipe. I'm just going to let the peas get soft, and you will see when they start getting softer, I will show you the next step. Right, I've put the pasta in because the water did come to a boil. I've just put it low again, but now that the pasta's in, I'm going to put it back on high heat. This pan is still cooking. Right guys, now you can do this different. You can make the sauce in many different ways, but I'm going to use a shortcut. Once the veggies are ready, I'm going to add double cream. You could do single cream or any sort of cream you prefer. I'm going to put about 300 mils of double cream. I'm just letting the cream mixture, that's what it should look like for now. I'm just going to let that come to a simmer, and then the next step will be I'm going to add grated cheddar cheese. You can add any sort of cheese you like. We tend to prefer the cheddar cheese, but only put it once there's a bit of a simmer coming on, only because the cheese will stay slightly solid and it's not going to do what it needs to for the sauce. As the sauce is coming to simmer, I'm going to add some crushed pepper as well. Gives it a nice flavour in the sauce. You can put more or less, dependent on your taste. Now you can add a good handful of cheese. As I said before, any sort of cheese. I'm putting grated cheddar cheese only because that's what we tend to prefer, or you can mix some cheeses up. whichever you prefer. For this sauce, I do prefer the cheddar. At this stage, this is what the sauce should look like. It's a slightly thicker consistency than I prefer, because I will be making a large batch of pasta. This is for about 7 to 8 people. More if you eat less, but a good sized portion, 7 to 8 people. And this is the consistency, like I said. At this stage, I'm going to thin the consistency out by slowly adding in some vegetable stock. You can add any flavoured stock, but I am making veggie pasta, so I'm adding vegetable stock. I added around, I would say, 400 ml of vegetable stock, and this is the consistency it is now. For the type of pasta I'm looking at, this is the consistency I want. You can have it slightly thicker, but I don't like my pasta too, I would say, stodgy, too sticky. I like it slightly, you know, liquidy, juicy, I would say. That's the consistency it should be. I'm just going to let it come to a simmer again, and then this sauce is pretty much ready. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but you can also add chicken or whichever type of meat you prefer in this as well. I prefer it as a veggie pasta, which is why I've not added any extra vegetables or meat. And you can also have it as a pasta bake, or just sort of mix the sauce into that pan once you've drained the water, and just have it like that with cheese on top as well. This sauce is now coming to a boil. Give it about a minute or so. This is on low heat, so just let it boil for about a minute or so on low heat. And that's it, this sauce is done. I'm just waiting for the pasta to be fully ready, and then I will drain the water in the pasta and incorporate these together, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, I've drained the water from the pasta, added the pasta, cooked pasta into the saucepan, and I've given it a good mix. You can actually serve it like this. This is actually ready, but I'm going to make a pasta bake, so I'm going to put this into a dish and put some cheese over it, and then put it in the oven. Okay guys, this is the final dish. I've just taken it out of the oven, so you can see it sizzling away. It was in the oven on gas mark 6, or I would say about 20-25 minutes, or once you start seeing the cheese getting a bit coloured, that means it's done. There you go, mushroom pasta bake.